welcome to Group B of the GSL Up and Down matches for Season 1 of Codas for 2013. I am Wolf, with me is Kaldor. How you feeling?
Pretty good. After yesterday's group, I'm really excited for the second group today, and I love the new format so much. I mean, it's not really a change for the up and downs that will probably last in all of the seasons. It's more of an irregularity because of how the invites went, but I really like the system. Yeah. I really love it, and I can't wait for Friday to happen. We already know that Jaedong is going to participate in the wildcard group, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Today, 2 players will advance to Code S, and with the wildcard edition, in case that you didn't pay attention yesterday or couldn't tune in, we have now another chance for the 3rd place player to get into Code S, and this is going to happen next Friday with another group of 5 players.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty exciting, just how everything stacks up. And we talked about it yesterday. We had a pretty crazy group yesterday with a lot of fan favorite players. I feel like today is more of the underdog group, that a group of players where everyone's just trying to prove themselves, coming from different backgrounds, different storylines. But yesterday we had a ton of powerhouses. Yeah. Today, not so much, but I think that in a similar fashion, because the skill level is so even between these 2 players, we could have an interesting group coming out here.
Yeah, definitely. The group today is going to be really nice. Yesterday, of course, the big story was more between Jaedong and Flash. Flash was a little bit unfortunate with the group. He won not against the players that he had to win against. That was his big problem. He was in a direct competition with MC and Jaedong for a slot in the top 3, and because he lost to both of them, he was not able to get in. Yesterday, just MC and Jaedong proved to be the better players in that particular group. And Flash was so close. He was really, really close, and he played really well, but it just wasn't enough. And we are having a quick look, of course, at yesterday's results, just to visualize it once again for you.
Yeah, you can see here, of course, Yoda and Jaedong will join MC to the top 3 spots. MC and Yoda, though, however, the ones to advance. And, you know, it was a pretty crazy group. Yeah. MC, a lot of people talking controversially about his win, but I have to say it's well-deserved. He looked really strong in the group overall.
He did. He played well, and you can see that MC, Flash, and Jaedong were tied for 2nd and 3rd place, and Flash, as he lost to both of those 2 players, he just came in 4th in the group, and this was a little bit unfortunate for him, so he has to play in Code A next season, but I'm very sure that he's going to do well. He's improving very, very fast. Yeah. He's doing so well in Pro League, and I'm sure that in the Individual League here at the GSL, he's also going to be able to get far.
I look at all players in that group, actually, and I say, you know, Younghwa had a rough day. He was 0-5. He's having some issues with his eyes, apparently. That helped him, you know, did not help him at all in that group.
Yeah, I talked to the coach earlier a bit because yesterday we didn't get this information, and I asked him if it's actually true, and he told me, that he had a problem with his eyes, and that affected him and his play a little bit. So one of the reasons why Younghwa maybe yesterday could not just play his full potential. But this is all about Group B today. We have a new day. We have a new day of StarCraft 2, and there are our 6 players. We have Happy, Shine, Tasia, Trap, Squirtle, and Dream. Very stacked group once again.
Yep, and of course, Shine from the newly departed TSL team, but he actually still has the tag Shine for today, it looks like, and his coach is actually here with him wearing a TSL hoodie, and it just goes to show that even though the team has disbanded, they've got that great team spirit still shining through, no pun intended.
Exactly, he still wears the TSL tag, and his coach is with him. He told me, I mean, as soon as the team disbanded, we messaged a bit, and he said, okay, I will still go to the up and downs with my players, and I feel this is still my duty, and I'm going to be there for them. So we have him here today in the studio, the coach, and Shine, of course, as well. We actually met them when we came out of the subway. And Shine is in good spirits. Yeah. He feels like he has a chance to get into Code S today, that he has a really good grasp. On the other hand,
like, I think this is the first time I have ever seen a team disband, and you have not a player coach or a friend at the studio, but actually just your coach as a coach figure. Notice he's wearing his TSL jersey. That just goes to show that even though the team no longer officially exists, the pride and the family spirit of the team it's still there. It's so visible. You can see it. He's wearing it. I love that.
And we, of course, have his opponent to the left in our Terran vs. Zerg, the first game of GSL Up and Down Group B. It is for LGIM, Happy, and this is going to be a really interesting Terran vs. Zerg that we are going to have on Whirlwind. A map that leads itself a little bit towards Shine. Happy most likely going to go into Mac. Could play Bio, we've seen yesterday from Yoda. And Happy, on the other hand, is a player that has shown Mac in the past on this map, so let's see if he's going to do it again. Yeah. The game is loading, guys, so hopefully you are ready for the GSL Up and Down Group B. who's going to get out of the group, who will be the 2 players to advance to Code S, and who is going to take 3rd place to get another shot on Friday in our wildcard group. We are going to find out right now. The starting players are good to go. Shine humming to the tunes that he's listening to right now. He certainly seems to be in good spirits, and let's see if he can do it today. Game number 1 is a little bit reluctant to start, but there we go, it's live, and let's get this party started, Wolf.
Let's do it, man. I am so ready. It's time for a Zerg versus Terran on Whirlwind. It's Happy up against Shine here at the GSL Up and Downs with Calder and Wolf.
Starting to the bottom left of the map, we have our Zerg player. He still wears his TSL hoodie, a team that just announced that they are going to disband. It is
TSL Shine.
Yeah, more like a clan at this point, really.
There we have him, still with the TSL hoodie. It's really unfortunate. It was one of the teams that I thought were, as you already pointed out earlier, acting as a family here in the GSL, but yeah, due to financial reasons, they were not able to keep the team up any longer. It's really unfortunate for their players. But now, focusing on the match at hand, we have the Terran starting to the top right, cross position to Shine. He is starting for LGIM.
LGIM Happy.
Yeah, one of 3 heavy-hitting Terrans in this group, and if you look at the 3 of them, I would actually put myself personally Happy at second. Teja definitely having the most results, not only in Korea but internationally, successfully. But Happy, on the other hand, is someone you never want to count out. He has had good runs in Code S. He's always been a good all-around player. And, you know, after watching the success of Yoda yesterday, I would not expect anything less out of this guy in this group. So not an easy first opponent for Shine, a pretty tough one, in fact.
Yeah, Shine, on the other hand, has his best matchup in the TVZ. And if you just look at the games that he played in the last Up and Down season, he did really well against the Terrans. The only Terran player that he lost to was Keen, and Keen was by far, I feel, the strongest Terran in the group with his performance. We had ASD and Björn also in the group, and you can always argue if Keen or Björn is the better player, but at this particular day, Keen just was in a better shape.
Yeah.
And now we have Yoda on the, Happy, of course, on the other hand. A player who struggles a bit against Zerg lately. He played against Roro in Code S and he was not able to take a single map. Before that he had to face Symbol and Live. Another 2 Zerg players that he could not best, and therefore I'm not quite sure how well he practiced this matchup. Shine is the only Zerg player in the group, so this is of course always a bit of a trade-off. You know exactly who you're gonna face, you know the maps, but if you have an opponent that's the only representative of his own race, then it's how much time do you invest in the strategy? What do you do?
He's going for gas, and he may have some sort of all-in or a special timing attack planned because of this. You very rarely will see a player take gas before CC in this match anymore. He's cut Marine so he can get a faster CC, which may just indicate he wants the gas so he can go into a faster mech play, get those Hellions out to control the map, but even using his first initial Marine to clear off that drone on the watchtower, this actually means that Shine has no information whatsoever about what his opponent is doing, and there's the factory going down really fast with the command center. So I really like that you pointed that out because this is so important. When you have one opponent of one race, you only have one Zerg player to face. That's true for every player in this group. Every player is going to have a specific strategy for this matchup, specifically on that map that they know they're going to face that player on. And Happy is lucky enough that he has to do it first. Uh-oh, these Marines are in trouble. They're not so lucky.
Yeah, they're definitely not lucky. They just misjudged the situation a little bit. He had them at the Zanaga watchtower, didn't see the Zerglings come, couldn't retreat anymore. And, well, at this point, Marines are down. This means he doesn't have a single unit, and because he's building the reactor right now, he is still a little bit delayed. Those Zerglings could do a lot of damage here.
This is somewhat problematic. He's going to need to buy time with a lift. Oh, this is going to be so close.
He could kill the SCV here and delay the command center if he goes straight for the worker, but he does see it a little bit too late. This is going to be so close.
He's trying to micro the SCV to finish it, and it will finish with the lift.
A nice move here by Happy. Really, really well executed.
And actually, rather than lifting, he takes the smarter option, which is just to make it into an orbital, and then the Hellions will come out here, because we can't kill a command center with 5 lings. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. What you really just want to do is take down the SCV, because then your opponent has the problem that his command center is going to be delayed. He has to pull another SCV from the main base.
Yeah.
But very well executed here by Happy. He used the shifting pattern of the SCV, cancelled the building for just a second, or the building process, and then went back with the SCV. So job well done. Oh, and interesting, we have a Marauder being built here for Happy. He goes into Oh wow, 2 additional barracks.
Oh,
if he goes for tech labs, he's gonna go for a Hellion and Marauder attack with Stim.
It looks like he's even going to add 1 tech lab and 1 reactor, so he's going to basically just do a 3 racks attack with Hellion support. This is definitely a timing attack that is orchestrated or will be orchestrated, has been planned based on the fact that he knows he only has to face 1 Zerg on a pretty good map for Zerg. He's not going to go mech, he's not going to do what his opponent expects, but rather he's going to be doing a more aggressive bio attack. With the second tech up, you can also start combat shields here.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you just look at the production tab right now, I feel we were a little bit too fast here, because it looks more to me like Happy was just aware of the risk that Shine could go for a roach attack on a map like this. This is something that a lot of Zerg players have been doing, and Hyun is one of them, so you can definitely go for a bit of roach aggression. You have cross positions here, which make it a little bit unlikely, but the question is how much does Happy really commit to this? 1 Marauder at the beginning makes you a little bit safer against roaches, but now he's going into the double Marauder build again, so it's going to be really interesting to see if he's really trying to hit a 2-base timing, because the problem that I have with this is that the distance between the two players is huge.
Yeah, it's cross positions. He may just try to cancel the 3rd base, or at least kill that hatchery, because now it's too late to cancel. But, you know, the thing is, at this point, he's also shown the Marauders, so that gets a little bit weird. And he already knows he's facing Marauders.
You know, if Happy really approached this matchup and it's like, okay, well, I face 1 Zerg player, what am I going to do? I can hit him with a certain attack. Then when he started this game and realized where Shine was starting, he probably just face-pumped twice, because it was like, why does it have to be cross-position? This would be so much more effective if it was close. And the Overlord, as just highlighted, sees everything here. So Shine has already the Baneling Nest on his way. He has +1/+1 building. He goes into a Roach Warren because he realizes if he hits me with a lot of Hellions, Lings won't cut it. I have to have a composition between Lings and Roaches.
And once the Marines stem a few times, the Roaches can actually clean those up pretty easily. Obviously, the Marauders are going to be somewhat of a problem, but you know, when you stem, Roaches do enough damage per attack that they can actually cut those units down without any medevac support. This hatchery is now just a production facility for Shine, because he can't actually mine from it, not with this Hellion and Marauder Marine attack. It's a bio Hellion attack, and it's possibly going to kill this hatchery. He's going in right now. Everything is ready. Custom shells are even finishing.
It's very similar to a push that Pold executed a lot, but Pold played it a little bit differently. Pold actually had a lot more Hellions with this attack. Zergling's running in, a little bit of a misstep here by Happy. He has 2 Hellions in the vicinity, and he's immediately using them, losing a few SCVs regardless. And now the 3rd is gone, but he already have a nearly completed lair tech. Roaches are there. We have the Spike Cross in a good position. The Queens are ready. Have a lot of energy for the Transfuse, and they're the Banelings.
Yeah, this could decide the entire game. The Roaches really tanking some hits here. He doesn't waste a single Baneling. Really nice control here by Shine, just turning around the last second. Does lose 1 there.
He should just back up to the second Spike
Transfuse. He misses his Transfuse a little bit too late there. But I agree, yeah, he could back up, but it looks like he's pretty much held this. The thing is, he still needs to force that 3rd hatchery up.
Nice. Gets 2 of those Marauders. The Hellions are ready, though. You know, the Spinecrawler, I agree with you. With the Transfuse, he could have saved him. I would have loved him to see him unburrow and pull him back. The reason being is the Spinecrawler was very far forward. So what he tried to do was to always lure the Terran army onto creep, that he has the speed advantage, can use the Banelings to connect with the army, and kind of trap them a little bit. But the Spinecrawler was so far to the front that there was always an angle for Happy to attack and then immediately back off when Shine was approaching. Both players really patient in this particular situation. I really like how they approached it. And now you can see how Shine is really trying to aggressively spread his creep towards the 3rd base that he started building again, because he knows that with the creep, he has an edge over Happy in this fight.
We have the Lone Reaper here. Probably a mistake, but you know, he can use that to scout actually if he wants to. Just wanted to highlight that briefly. The upgrade's very behind for Happy right now, because he's just now starting 1-1, whereas his opponent's got +2 on the way. Bailing's speed is getting closer to being finished, as well as Roach speed is now out. He's only got, you know, he's got less than 20 Roaches on the map, and I don't think it's going to be a late game composition for him, but with this Roach presence, he's going to be able to force Happy to keep that 3rd command center in the air. He's not really going to be able to keep it on the ground. In fact, he could even deny it with an Overlord right now if he spreads it right away. That's actually an Overseer, my bad.
What Happy achieved is that Shine does not have too many drones now, and Shine has a lot of army, so he's in a position where he's thinking about, okay, what am I going to do with this? And he decided to go for the aggression. He gets the 3rd base, but he has a lot of Zerglings, he has a lot of Roaches, and he wants to move in. I'm not really sure if he can break up the ramp, but for now he can at least deny a 3rd base for a long time. If he really tries to break through, I'm not quite sure if this is the best move with all the units that Happy has and with the wall. That he doesn't use, by the way.
He does not use the wall, you're so right, and this actually is a great position for Shine, but The split here is insane, and I don't think this is going to work out.
It's a horrible position for Shine. The units are way too well spread, and that should not do enough damage. Look at the spread on the Marauders, especially.
Yeah, I mean, he gets in, but it's like Happy wanted him to get in so he could have this around. And now he's...
The second wave is doing a lot of damage on the other hand.
Now he's forcing him back once more. The Roach speed really helping him actually close the distance, but with the Siege Tanks, there's now a second one. It's too much. He has to retreat. He still has a supply lead, but Happy has held. He still has that third command center. It's even landed now. He's going to have to lift it, of course, but...
It was still a little bit more cost efficient than I thought it would be. And I'm wondering if Happy didn't use the wall on purpose because he was aware that he would be supply blocked if 3 or 4 of these supply depots would be killed. If he really tried to just make sure that the split is so good that he doesn't need the wall to dodge the banelings.
Plus, you know, if he lets him in like that, he has a much better surface area to make that arc. He's even got a factory in the way. So he's got siege tanks coming out of that factory. He wants to have that arc, and I think it may have been intentional for sure. You're absolutely right.
Shine's timing was excellent. He attacked before siege mode was really completed, but now he missed this opportunity. He's still ahead in overall supply though, and we have him on 3 bases, whereas Happy is now just trying to claim the 3rd base, and Shine is now just joining up. He's getting his tech ready. He's even getting a 4th base now. No, actually it's just a macro edge that he's building. But he could actually try to get a 4th base at some point, now that he realizes that there's a 3rd for Happy. Both players actually doing a really good job. You mentioned it earlier, but I love this, the spread for Happy. He used all the structures that he had on the high ground to protect his units, and especially with how he positioned the Marauders. This was so well done against the Banelings. The Hellions always trying to get away from them as fast as possible. Both players playing a really, really positional game here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to watch. The Infestors are popping out here just as soon as the drops come, so they will actually be able to clean this up eventually. But notice just how razor thin these timings are. He's trying to get the Infest out, he skipped mutas. Happy knows he can't have mutas with this many roaches, so he tries to go for the drops. He will be able to save these units, but with the Infestors coming out, it's not going to last forever. And I love all the run-bys that Shine is doing right now. He just keeps making sure that Happy's on his toes, makes him have to control not only his medevac, but also the units to defend.
The 4th base that I was talking about earlier is now being built by Shine. And wow, one of the Infestors goes down, well played.
Yeah.
But what was really important for Happy is that he didn't go completely all in with the strategy at the beginning. If you try to go completely all in, you don't get the 3rd base. And he already got the command center while he was moving out. He was prepared to, he was trying to do damage, but he was prepared to fall back on a macro strategy. And then it was just Shine's decision making and his pressure that just delayed everything for Happy. So now we have a game where Shine is trying to get more bases. He's also thinning himself out a little bit, and this gives Happy, with the drop play that he's currently executing, a bit of an opening here. But Shine now on the way to Hive Tech is getting also the Spire. It's a pretty cool game, a pretty cool TVC that we have to start things up in our up and down group today.
Yeah, and look at how he's using these overlords to scout around the map. You know, they first had him kind of all clumped up in the corner, but now he's spreading around to spot for drops. Also to deny bases, it looks like that's what his plan is. He's got a small Ling force at every corner of the map. In total, 86 Lings on the map, really helping them spot those drops. So you have that Greater Spire transition coming out very nicely. And I feel like even though Happy did some damage, killed that base, transitioned decently, I feel like Shine is still just one step ahead of him in this game in almost every aspect.
What's really good for Happy, on the other hand, is that he had those engineering bases ready very early in the game, and he's now on his way to complete +2/+2. Shine, does he have the 2nd attack upgrade? I know that he finished the armor upgrade, but I'm not quite sure on how many attack upgrades he is. He doesn't have a single one for the Roaches. With the Zerglings, he's on 2/2. That will help him, of course, with the Broodlings later on as well.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get 3/3 just yet, even though Hive is completed. And these Zergling run-bys are doing a lot of damage. They're just annoying. They are very positional too.
Yeah, he forced the bunker to be made, but even with the bunker there, you can see it's not quite enough. This push from Happy is really scary, though, because this is before Greater Spire is done. And he does have 2/2 finishing up here, but he's losing a lot of SCVs at home. He doesn't have anything to defend. He's not pulling anything either. He's just letting it go.
I don't think he saw it.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
I think he has no idea what's happening. Now he's pulling them away, but he lost 25 workers in total. This means he just lost 10. He lost 15 earlier already, but now he lost additional 10, and this is, of course, very unfortunate. +3/+3 has been spotted in the middle of the map. The Banelings are rolling in, the Infestors lending their support with bundles, and the melee units are closing the distance.
Even the Roaches is really helping out in this fight. Once he cleared up most of those units, the Roaches can clean up house, and you know, Shine takes a great engagement on creep.
But Shine forgot a lot of Zerglings in the main base, as was just highlighted by Legend. He doesn't really know about them, but he is still rocking this battle in the middle of the map.
And here they
Creep,
come.
of course, also giving him a bit of an edge with the speed. And now a bad rally for Happy. He didn't catch all those Marauders that were heading to the bottom left. And Happy is losing ground.
I think Happy doesn't have enough units. There's way too many Lings here. The Infested Terrans get dropped. And the Lings now crushing through the siege tanks. The Roaches just have too much damage output. Happy finds himself now fighting a losing battle. He will lose his third base if Shine wants it. If he wants to take it down with Infested Terrans, he can.
4 bases still for the Zerg player, the former TSL player. There it is. GG. Shine takes the game in a very, very convincing fashion. The map a bit in his favor here, but a great play by our Zerg player. Happy with the strategy, trying to go for Marine Marauder and Hellions. Was shut down from the beginning. Overlord scouting it. Creep spread was decent, and Shine using all his advantage that he had. A very patient engagement, and then Happy, even though he had the third base, falling a little bit behind. So a very nice game to start things off today.
Yeah. This goes to show, man, Shine is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely, yeah.
I like his style. You know, we didn't even really talk about it, but his creep spread throughout that entire game was insanely good, which really helped him defend against those pushes, helped him get the right angle with that flank with the Infestors, shutting down that one siege tank push. Then when he had that, he was like, this game's mine. I have more bases, I got my Greater Spire finishing up, I'm going to kill your third, nothing you can do, this is over.
I really liked especially the first fight that we've seen. I mean, we talked about it, how they used the creep, how they were just dancing around at the edge of the creep, because both of them knew the creep and the speed bonus here is what it's all about. Also the high ground vision that Shine didn't have.
Yeah.
He can't really approach the high ground as good as he can when Happy moves down, because then he sees exactly what he's up against. So that was really well done by both of them. I really liked it, and Happy was so reluctant to approach Shine on creep because he knew if I don't pay attention for a second and he connects with those Banelings, gets my Hellions, gets my Marines, then suddenly I'm left with only Marauders and the Lings will clear me up immediately. But coming from our Zerg versus Terran, we are heading into our first Protoss versus Terran match today. We have Trap for SDX Soul, and one of the strongest contenders in the group is definitely Liquid Tasia.
Yeah, Tasia here sitting in the booth. One of the, actually I would say, internationally this guy is basically Terran of the Year. I mean, he has taken so many wins in so many international tournaments, doing great for his team in Pro League as well. Taja's not somebody I would want to face, and I would put him as the favorite, especially in this matchup where he looks so strong all the time. His drop play, his late game can be quite terrifying if he even lets you get there. Trap has a tough opponent ahead of him here on a tough map, Belshir Vestige.
Exactly. Tasia in Pro League often nags for his team, lost the last match though that he had to play just yesterday against Flash. Trap, our Protoss here in Belshir Vestige. Let's see what he's going to do. This is game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, at the GSL Up and Downs Group B. Once again, 2 players advanced to Codes today. One has another shot. The third place player can play on Friday again. Let's jump into the game. Wolf, Terran versus Protoss, Tasia versus Trap.